Okay, so measures of central tendency, so different ways to measure the center of data, so like mean, median, that type of stuff. Things you've seen before, we're just gonna formally define it, and then we'll do some questions, okay? So this may be straightforward, but it's still important. Still important. So definitions. The arithmetic mean of a variable is computed by adding up all the values of the variable in the data set and dividing it by the number of observations. Okay. So this is just the general mean in general. Now the population mean it uses the symbol mu, lowercase mu. Let me write that better. So lowercase mu. This is computed using all the individuals in a population. So if you in every stat book you're going to read, they're going to use that letter for population mean. So it's the true average of every single person, okay, of whatever thing they're asking about. So we'll talk about the difference between sample and population in just a second. The population mean is a parameter. Okay. The sample mean, they use a X bar. It's an X with a bar on top. This is computed using sample data. The sample mean is a statistic. So in statistics, we use the sample mean because it's much easier to sample the population. Just trying to find out, let's say, I don't know, let's say you want to ask everyone in the whole city what their favorite ice cream is, or if they like chocolate. You know, it's pretty hard to get everyone on board to sign up and give that data back. Getting that true population, that true average is difficult. So most of the time, we'll use a sample to find a mean that represents the population. But finding a good sample can be tough too, because if you're asking, like, I don't know, let's say you're asking like political questions, right? That'll vary depending on what part of town you're in, right? Their responses will be different, or what state you're in, right? Some states are more conservative, more liberal. It all depends. So if you want to have a representation of the entire country, you would need a proper sample. Does that make sense? You don't want to buy a sample that tells you lies, right? And people can use statistics to sway opinions if they don't have correct samples. And I'm sure you read in chapter 1, right? They have a lot of techniques, which is pretty interesting. How they can fool you. So always pay attention. Like, okay, where the data come from? Was it properly chosen? Do they have data? Are they making stuff up? Anyway, you see the difference between population and sample, right? Is that clear? If you see these notations, almost any sample, it's always be sample, always population. Okay. Then the formula for mean in both cases is the same. Mu will equal to x1 plus x2 plus x3, all the way until x capital N divided by n. So this is telling you where capital N is every single data point. Using summation notation. You guys familiar with the summation notation? Capital sigma. It should have come up in college algebra. If you haven't taken it, do you see this little backwards E thing, capital sigma? It's telling you to sum the terms of x, where I is going through 1 all the way until some letter. Okay. To just sum up all the terms. So if I like a list of data points, you would sum up the first data point, second data point, right? And we all know how to find averages, right? This would be like, if you're doing calculating your total average of your exam, you take the first test, second test, third test, by the total number of tests. That's all this is saying. That's all that simple means. Add them all up. Sum all your X data points. Okay. Capital N is all observations in your population. Where is my mouse? Okay. X bar is very similar. It's just that they use the data points from the sample. That's the only difference. It's going to be x1 plus x2 plus x3 all the way until x lowercase n divided by lowercase n. So that is equal to the sum of your data points in the sample over all the number over the total number of data points. So n is all observations. In your sample. I should say the total number. Sorry, total number. Okay. No, number the formulas and star the definitions. Here's another definition. The median of a variable is the value that lies in the middle of your data when arranged in ascending order. Okay. In this book, we use capital M for median. So if you see that anywhere, that's median. Okay. Now there's two different techniques to find the median. Of course, you can do StatCrunch, Excel, find it right away, but if you're doing it by hand, if it's an odd number versus an even number of data points, you have two different ways to do it. I think the easiest way to explain it is to give you an example of finding median. Or let's do even and odd. So let's say you have 1, 5, 7, 8. Over here you have 1, 3, 4, 7, 6. Well, I should put it in order. Yes. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. If it's odd, just look one there. It has to be in ascending order. Right there. You're done. If it's even, there's 2 in the middle. Right? So take those 2 and divide by, add them together, divide by 2. So you take the average of the center points. That's it. So median for even is the center 2 divided by 2. What's 5 plus 7 divided by 2? Yeah, 6, right? Over here, the easy one. That makes sense? In the book, I have a long explanation that's like half a page as to how to do this, but I think this is shorter. If it's even, do this. If it's odd, do that. Okay. Any questions on that idea? Just make sure you know how many data points you have. You pull it out to Excel, you can highlight the column and it'll tell you how many points you got. I think StatCrunch should also tell you, or you can count them yourself if it's small. I'll wait a sec before I turn the page. Okay, you guys cool on page 1. All right, we're almost to the homework. Just give me a few more minutes. Definition, mode. The mode of a variable is the most frequent observation of the variable that occurs in the data set. As a quick note here, if no observation appears more than once, then you say you have no mode. You could have multiple modes, like let's say you two data points appear the same number of times, more than once. Then you say both are modes, bimodal. But if nothing repeats itself, just say no mode, right? You could probably, oh, you can also have more than two. You could have multimodal questions. Okay. But they have to appear the same number of times. So let's say you have the number 2 appear 3 times, the number 5 appeared 3 times, number 6 appeared 3 times. Those will all be the mode. Okay. Anyway, that's pretty much it for 3.1. Let's look at the homework. The homework starts with a couple of definitions. I'll let you look it up on your own. Let's get to the problems. I don't know why it always gets all big when I do that. So are you guys cool on this part? I forgot to. 1 second. You guys got the definition already? Or switch over? Okay. So look at number 4. It says, set the correct choice. Find a population mean or sample mean as indicated. Well, they give you a sample, right? But you wouldn't be doing this population. So just click on B and then find the average. You can export it to Excel or StatCrunch. I think Excel might be the easiest one because it does the mean automatically. But either one is fine. Either one. I don't care. If it loads, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe not. All right, let's see if we can get it on StatCrunch. Those are our data points. I think summary stats would be the one. The summary usually has the mean and yeah, here it is. Mean, variance, etc. So click your variable. choose what you want to do. You want to find the mean statistic. And compute. So the average of variable 1 is 15. So you can do that in here as well. My Excel is not loading for some reason. But if yours opened up, just highlight the column and you'll see at the very bottom right, it'll have the total, the sum, and I think the average, the mean. Okay. So you should pick sample and type in 15. That's it. So just make sure you know if you have a population or sample, use the correct symbol. Even though the formula is the same. The next few questions is the same deal, but the numbers get uglier, but you use StatCrunch or your calculator to add them up. The mean of your histogram should be in the center, but the mode is the highest value. So number 8, we would say that X bar should be less than 10. And we also said last week, the cell would be where it's skewed. The cell on the left is left skewed. So I think it is the. Not sure. Let's find out. Yeah. So highest block, median, center, mean. That's all they're going to ask about. I'll also ask you to find the mode and median. And they'll have some ideas like this. Given a graph, what measure of central tendency is best described as center? What do you think? What would be the center in this graph? Part of the value there. Better 40. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right in the middle. Would that be a mode, median, or mean? So the center of the data is this would be the mean. Then we said the highest value should be the median. Okay. So don't forget. So please work on your homework and let me know if you get stuck. I think it'll just be that type of stuff over and over again. If you need help calculating median or mode, let me know. I'll help you out.